I've seen some requests for advice on how to beat Chapter 11, the Hemorrhoid virus, in Cell Survivor. So I'm going to break this one down and give you some of the best strategies for this one. Now, obviously, skill level is pretty high, but I remember pretty much exactly what I used when I beat it for the very first time, and why it was that I didn't find it super difficult. So I I took out all the skills that wouldn't have been there when I initially played Chapter 11. So all the beginner skills are there, and Spinning Dagger, I believe, was unlocked at this point, so that's there. All this other stuff, not there. And to be quite honest, the all this other stuff I hardly ever use anyway, except for massage stick. I find the beginner skills to be much more powerful than the advanced skills, ironically. So I'm in hell mode for this one. Here we go, hemorrhoid virus. Let's see. Out of these ones, I am going to go small medical tower because that one's always OP. And then I'm going to go with the least effective of these skills. I'm going to go global cooldown down 5%. That one is one that you literally hardly ever notice. Upgrade the medical tower, obviously, because the more quantity it is, the more of these towers show up, and the more lasers show up, the more area damage is done, and the medical towers are great because it gets damage over time, which just makes it super OP. Especially as the viruses start getting closer to you. Cooldown reduction for the medical tower. All right. So gold chests, for those that haven't figured it out yet, they give you new skills, and silver chests give you upgrades to skills you already got. Capsule quantities are usually good for early on when you want to get chests fast, but typically when I'm over halfway through the level, I've pretty much de-emphasized the capsules altogether. Alright, next skill we want is the sterile swab. This skill, despite being the beginner skill, is just crazy OP, overpowered for those of you who are over 30. I myself am over 30, I'm not insulting you. Cotton swab, critical rate, we are absolutely increasing that. Spinning daggers, these are an absolutely essential, excuse me, 40 and my voice is cracking, essential skill for any level where you're in the middle of the screen. When you're at the bottom of the screen, they're useless. Middle of the screen, they kick ass. Medical tower, we're going to boost the medical tower quantity again because why the hell not? It's like it's like constellations in the sky right now. And it's not hitting all that much right now, but the closer the virus gets, the more it's going to be taking damage. Size boost for the spinning daggers is absolutely essential because then you can hit the pieces on the outside. And you can get through them a whole hell of a lot faster. Acupuncture, I love this one because you aim it the exact same way that you aim the capsules. It does far more damage than the capsules, and it bounces off and does all manner of damage everywhere. What else do I want? Disinfectant. Yeah, I'm going disinfectant bubble. That's one that does pretty good damage. Not really damage over time, but it does super high damage per hit. And as you can see, I've got so many upgrades to my medical tower that the whole screen is essentially flooded with medical towers and lasers. Acupuncture shot quantity. This is an overpowered upgrade for sure. Especially for a basic upgrade. Looks like we got a gold chest right there, which is shocking. Heart of Ice, Needle Storm, Fire Dragon Soar. I like, out of these, what do I like best? I like Heart of Ice. And to be quite honest, Heart of Ice is kind of the least effective out of all those to me. Spinning. And so I'm kind of trying to handicap myself a little bit in order to make up for the lower power level. Boost the quantity. Now, anytime you get a power-up that lets you boost the quantity of the daggers by more than one, you're for 1,000,000% sure going to want to use that, because that just increases your damage a ton. Cotton swab cooldown, yes. One of the best strategies in this game from like the very beginning is to spam cotton swab cooldown upgrades and cotton swab duration upgrades. Boost quantity of the acupuncture is good. Oh, size is 100% essential for cotton swabs. But if you spam upgrades for cotton swab duration and cooldown, you can have as many as 5, or if you're lucky, even 6 cotton swabs on stage at a time, which will just do stupid amounts of damage to like every segment of the virus. So if you're able to get that, that's an essential upgrade. Another cooldown upgrade. Dang, this game really wants me to upgrade my acupuncture needles to about the top level that I can. So you know what? Critical rate. Critical rate tends to be more effective than critical damage. Matter of fact, critical damage is only really effective if your critical rate is already pretty high. So, for some upgrades, don't be fooled by the purple color. They're not effective. Capsule Burst. I like Capsule Burst at the beginning of the level, but at this point right now, I'm emphasizing my side skills. Don't care. I don't really do too much with the disinfectant bubbles. So, but the acupuncture skill, this one's available right from the beginning. And because the needles fly around so much, they essentially will hit segments of the virus all over the screen and pierce through everything. So they're extra effective, especially on the levels where you're in the middle of the stage, because the virus is surrounding you and there's not a whole lot of space for them to go. There's a purple needle upgrade, 150% damage to this thing. Alright, critical damage boost, rapid ejection. Critical damage boost because I already have a critical rate boost on the flaming Q-tip, cotton swab, whatever. Damage boost on the cotton swab again. This is extra useful when you got 5 cotton swabs on stage at a time. Right now, I've gotten hardly any cooldown boosts and no duration boosts, which doesn't usually happen, but I'm telling you, that's what you want to go for. Spinning dagger quantity up again. Look at all them daggers. Disinfected bubble bounce. The more bounces, the better. Obvi. I feel like there's something cursed and Halloween-esque about the fact that I can hear crows yowling in the background. Oh well, whatever. Making this video in October anyway. Well, that takes care of that. So, the takeaways from this are to highly emphasize the cotton swab, highly emphasize the medical tower, highly emphasize the spinning daggers. Aside from those 3, the biggest essential to me is the acupuncture needles. Everything else is kind of secondary after that. I wouldn't say any of the ones I had in the list were completely ineffective. The completely ineffective ones, ironically, come by later in the game, like the defibrillator and whatnot, and the roulette. But yeah, there's the 3 essentials plus acupuncture needles. All right, this is Game Hydro. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment to tell us what else you want to see us do, and otherwise, please like and subscribe.